Hey there YouTube, it's Marvin here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited because I am going to be installing this 12.1 Android head unit from Idoing. This was sent to me by Idoing in exchange of installation video, and what I really appreciate is that they sent this to me to install so that I could provide them a feedback on things like ease of installation, functionality, and overall quality. This way they can address the issue or make improvements if there is any, and that shows that they really care about their product. My truck is 2020 F-150 Lariat trim with B&O sound system and subwoofer, so that's gonna be interesting. And with automatic AC, it means it has like automatic climate control, also have cool and heated seat and heated steering wheel. The only thing I don't have with this truck is the 360 camera, so I'm not gonna be worried about that. And the good thing with this Idoing is this is a plug and play, so it means that no cutting wires needed or any modification that you have to do. All you have to do is to remove the factory and then replace it with this Idoing stereo. Again, all you have to do is to just plug all the cables and then it should be good to go. And because this Android head unit is configured specifically to my truck, it should retain all the factory function, just like steering wheel control and my automatic AC and the dual climate control, and also it should retain the quality of the B&O sound system in my truck. What I'm expecting is it should make it better. I'm expecting a lot cleaner and crispier sound and more deep bass after installing this one. But there's only one way to find out, you know, like install it and then test it, right? So that said, let's start with a quick unboxing so that I can show you guys what inside the box, and then after that we're going to proceed full installation. Let's go. All right, so this is how I received the Idoing in a big brown box. First thing that we got here is the colored instruction of all the connection. There you go. So let's put this away, and this must be the box of all the wirings. Oops. Yep. Got all the wirings here and the canvas module. So let's put this away first. So you got a very good protection at, you know, a cheap styrofoam. Let's take this out. Alright, so, and there you are. Check out this massive 12.1 inches screen. And at the back you can see one harness already pre-installed, and here are the two canvas module. It reads the factory data from the truck, and it also connects and communicates with the B&O sound system and subwoofer. And here is the SIM card tray. To open the covers, just slide it to the right, then slide the SIM card tray back, lift it up, insert your SIM card and close it by sliding it forward and lock it in, and that's it. All right, so let's get inside the truck and start the installation. Well, first of all, when I'm working, I like to have lots of room. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move the shifter back all the way to the manual mode. So to do that, you just have to remove this tray in the center console. So safety first, before anything else, make sure to secure your vehicle, block the tires on both the front and the rear. Some people use just the parking brake, but I personally prefer the tire block. It's much safer and helps prevent any chance of the truck rolling. And under the tray you can see this black cover here. There's a release tab in the center, but that's kind of useless because no matter how I pry this out, it doesn't come out. The best way is like if you have the very thin pry tool like this one that comes with the Idoing stereo, you can just like insert that on the side. You can do it on the left as well, but I just like to do it here, and right there you can see this is pop out, and then you can try just to push. Oops. Once that's out, you can try to push the center tab out and it should pop out right there. All right, so yeah, there you can see the white plastic. This is the shifter lock release. So all you have to do is, again, use the pry tools, whatever you have, and push it down and hold it there, and then press the release of the shifter, and you can move the shifter all the way back, and that's it. When you do this, you will feel that the truck will jerk slightly when it passes to the neutral position, which is normal. Now to put it back to the park, all you have to do is to press the release and push the shifter back to the park position. Right, so I'm gonna pull it back all the way to the manual mode again, and it's going to stay there. As you can see, I have lots of room when pulling the stereo out. By the way, you don't really have to do this. It's doable even the shifter is in the park position. But again, I just like to have more room while I'm working, so I think it's a good idea. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a towel to cover the area. Again, I don't want to scratch my truck, so let me go ahead and do that. All right, that should be good. All right, so now we can start removing the factory head unit. The tools I'm gonna need is 7mm socket. Just gonna put it here now because I have a towel. I can put my tools right there, and the plastic pry tool that comes with Idoing. But I grab another two from my set, and probably I'm going to use this as well, and Phillips screwdriver. So that's the tools that I'm going to need. So first, let me move Larry out of the way. By the way, meet Larry. He's been living in this truck since end of 2020 when I bought the truck. And yeah, he's a male dog. That's why I call him Larry. If it's a female, I'm gonna call her Lara. Because again, my F-150 is a Lariat trim. That's why Larry, Lara, Lariat. So, yep. So, Larry is gonna go here, just on top of the speaker. I know you guys may be wondering why I put Larry there instead of putting it in the corner. And ignore the cardboard here. It's very sunny right now and hot, so I have to protect myself. So the first step is to remove the bolt. There's two 7mm bolts inside under this plastic. There is a slot right here and right here in the corner. So using the pry tool, I am going to insert right there. Now under this cover there are three white retainer clips, one here, and then one in the center. So what you have to do is, like, if you have another pry tool, so it's better to use one more, and then you can see it inside. I'm gonna show you guys later the clear picture of it, and then you're gonna use another pry tool to push that pin. Just have to push that and you guys hear the click, and then we're gonna release the one in the center as well. There you go. This part here should pop up. Last one in the corner. There you go. So that's how easy it is. So now I'll show you the clear picture of the retainer. There's is one, two, oops, this is out on the way. You can see that there's 1, 2, and 3. Let me just put this one here. All right, like that. I guess you guys can see it better. So what you have to do, this plastic retainer here, you just have to push it while trying to pull the cover out, and then it will pop right out. And that's the reason why I put Larry here instead of put it in the corner, because you don't really have to remove the whole thing. I've seen people removing the whole thing. There's another 4 7mm under this speaker cover, which is you have to pop this off as well. And just showing you guys the quick and easy so that you guys can save time by not removing unnecessary things. So now we're going to use the 7mm socket to remove the 2 bolts. I can just take this out. And the other one, man, it's really sunny, it's really hot inside the truck. I open all the doors and windows, and again I have a cardboard that's protecting me. I don't want to cover the whole windshield because it's gonna be too dark. You guys won't be able to see what I'm doing. So all right. All right, so that's the 2 7mm bolt that we have to remove. Just gonna put that in the cup holder so that I won't lose it. And now what we have to do is to try to yank this forward. There is like 6 retainer clips that's holding this, and if you see at the bottom here, there is a line. The bottom plastic part here is not part of the stereo, so that is going to stay. All right, so now I'm going to try to yank it towards me. And it should be easy. You can use gloves if you want to. There you go, now it's coming out. There you go, that's how easy it is. And then the bottom part, you can either use a pry tool to help you out. Right there. We're gonna do the left side first. And then I'm gonna move to the right side. Alright, so it's out and you have to be careful. You can see I have 4 buttons here. Lower model, they only have 2. There's a wire connected at the back, and behind this part here also there's 2 wires that is connected. You guys can see that the wires are long enough to move the whole thing forward. And there you can see as well the advantage of moving the shifter back to all the way to the manual position. Now I have lots of room. If I didn't move that, the shifter was here, so it's kind of like awkward. And also using the towel, you are sure that you're not scratching anything. You can just like move it around without worrying to scratch the paint of the center console. The next thing we have to do is to disconnect all the wire on the top. As you can see, this is color coded, so you're not gonna make a mistake. Green, black, and gray to gray. Quick tip, if you're not comfortable and you want to make sure, it's always a good idea to take a photo of what you're doing, especially all the connections, so that later on you can go back and check that if you connect all the wirings correctly. But in this case, all the connectors only goes to their specific socket, and plus this is color coded, so you're not gonna make a mistake. So now let me show you how to remove the connectors properly. Don't just press it on the side. There's no tabs there. The tab is right here. This is the one inside, so that's the one you have to squeeze and pull the connector out. So I'm going to use the small flat screwdriver and then insert in here. Just hard to do it with one hand, of course, but it should be able to do so. Here's the clear view of the locking tab. You can see that there's 2 notches on both sides. That's the one holding the connector. So you just have to squeeze that and pull it out. Again, you cannot push it here, you cannot reach that. Right, so let me remove the other 2 connectors for the black and the gray. There you go, that's so easy. And now all the upper cables are removed. Again, this is color coded, so you're not gonna make a mistake. Gray, black, green, gray, black, and green. So let's proceed to removing the bottom one. There's 2 connectors right there. Right, so let's start with the one on the right. Just there you go, that's so easy. Again, this is the release here on the top. Right, so and let's do the one on the left. So push this and insert the screwdriver, and there you go. Right, so let's take this factory head unit in my garage and then like compare it side by side with the Idoing. Okay, so here is the factory and the Idoing side by side. First we're gonna try to press the buttons. There are just like feel almost the same, but the factory you have to press it a lot harder. This is softer. How about the button right here? All right, so you guys notice that the factory is louder, and the Idoing feels like it's not a spongy feeling. It feels like you can feel like there's kind of a rubber underneath. Oh, this one on the side. That, see, there's a lot harder. The best analogy is the factory buttons feels like mechanical keyboard, while the Idoing feels like you know, like a rubber membrane type of keyboard. So if you ask me, I actually prefer the feel of the Idoing than the factory. Also, like the Idoing is a lot quieter. The only thing I can say is you guys notice that the factory, the center buttons are higher, and compared to the Idoing, the factory is also wider. So I wish that they copy exactly like this, or at least similar. That would be nice as well. And if they retain also these buttons at the bottom, because those are the buttons that I actually mostly use, so that would also be great. But this button here is going to be on the touch screen, so I think it's just a matter of getting used to it. Otherwise, I like the look of the rotary knob. It retains the chrome aesthetics of the factory, but the factory has illuminated LED around the knobs. I'm not sure if the Idoing has it also. It would be nice if they also retain that. And on the top, we cannot compare it, of course, because it's gonna be on the touch screen. So the media button and the tune, they combine it on the right side. I think it makes sense so that you don't have to move your hand. You know, you switch it on the radio and then you can tune right away. And the mute is on the left. That's also on the left. And also the volume is on the left. And the other thing I like is like these 4 buttons is gonna be on the top on the Idoing. And there you can see it also comes with one cover in case like you have the lower model that has only 2 buttons to install. So moving that buttons on top, it makes the LCD a lot cleaner. Unlike the factory, if you're looking on the LCD, it's kind of like this button here are distraction. I noticed that right away when I get my truck, and I said why they didn't put this on top here instead. There's like room right there. Anyway, let's flip them over and compare the backside. There you go, the backside of the Idoing and the factory. And by the way, before you forget, if you have the 3 switches like mine, make sure to remove this right away. It's gonna be hard to remove later when you already installed all the wires. So I'm gonna take that off, you know, before going back to the truck. And the other thing that I like is instead of taking the orange plastic retainer clips from the factory to move it to the Idoing, they actually supply their own, so you don't have to remove that. But I'm not gonna install this right now. This is the second to the last thing that I'm going to install, to make sure that everything works first before I, you know, push it in and lock it in. I don't want to, like, you know, try to pry it again. And also take note that other brands or other cheap brands is going to require a lot of work, because the whole part right here, you're gonna have to move that to the aftermarket Android head unit. With Idoing, you don't have to do that because it already comes with it, so that is like less work for you. And here's the connector for the GPS antenna. Let's remove the cover right there. They're gonna be the same at the bottom for the 4G, and the center one is for the Wi-Fi 5G. It has a 5 pins connector right there, and you get the fan that you have to connect later on, and this is for the power harness cable. You got the fuse right there, and this connector here is for the cable that we removed from the factory, this one and this one. And maybe you guys already noticed this label here. It says manual AC, which I mentioned that I have automatic AC in my truck, but I'm not worried about it because I'm sure that Idoing already configured this to automatic AC instead of manual AC. I gave them all the information of my truck before shipping this one to me. Again, don't forget to remove this cover if you have the 3 switch to install like mine. So I'm just gonna use a flat screwdriver to lift this up. While lifting that up, just push it like that. Okay, there you go. And to remove the switches, you just have to squeeze this tab on both sides. This should be easy. Oops. There you go. It's already out, and voila, it's out. Right now, I'm just gonna put it back because I mentioned that the retainer clips is the second to the last that I'm going to install, meaning that the last thing I'm going to install are these buttons here. Alright, so let's go back to the truck and remove the things that we need to remove. Next thing you have to do is to remove the factory LCD. There are 3 screws on both sides. I already removed 4 of them. They are gray screws, so you won't mix them up. The one that we remove on the top are black. And it's a good idea to remove the one at the bottom and in the middle first, because the top one is more accessible and easy to see, and you also use the 7mm. I use this screwdriver because this is longer, and then can go in here and it can go right there as well. So this one is already loose. It's already loose as well. And then there you go. And drop it there. And the LCD is free. And I'm gonna say it again, it's always a good idea to take a picture before removing all the connectors so that you have like reference, you know, later on. So now let's remove all the connectors. So here you just have to press this. Should be easy right there. And another one here. Just squeeze that. Right, so that's 2. And let's reposition the LCD. It's quite heavy actually because there's a module there as well. So to release this gray lock on the big connector, you just have to push the center down and then slide it, and it will pull the connector itself like that. So now it's removed. And when connecting it back, make sure that this gray is positioned all the way down like that. As you can see, there's a guide there. If it's somewhere here, it's not gonna go in. It has to be all the way down like that. Just sample here. Sorry about the noise. And like that. And you don't have to push it down actually. You just have to slide this. It will lock by itself. Right? So that's it. Right, so that's how it is. By the way, this is the Sync 3 module mounted on the back of the 8-inch LCD. And then back here, this is the powertrain module of my F-150. So we're not going to touch that anyway, just for information in case you guys are curious. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to move this out of this slot here. I think it's gonna be better later on. Right, so, and the next thing we have to do is to remove the audio amplifier module using the same 7mm socket. Let's just drop it there. They are the same sizes. Right, it should be good. It's only 4 bolts are holding it. Now we can pull the amplifier module. Like take note that sometimes the wires get stuck inside, but it should have like enough length of the cable so that we can pull this out all the way. Right, so now it's stuck. It's here. Okay, so this one is getting stuck. Oh, there you go. Right, so I think that is. Alright, so there you go. Oops. Look at this. How come I have... There is... How this paper gets in here? I have no idea. This is our camping trip before. Tribune Bay campsite reservation. I have no clue, probably from the compartment at the bottom, like there's a tray compartment at the bottom, it push it in. So yeah, so hidden gems. All right, so let me use this light. Okay, right there. It's also a good idea not removing the top. Now I have the light holder. Right, to show you guys closely, here are the connectors that we have to remove. All of them has the release tab right there. It's the release tab. The one in the middle, we leave this one here. That's the release tab. Right, so let's go ahead and take all of them out. Alright, I'm going to remove the black one first. Right, the black one is easy to remove. Just have to press the release tab right there. Alright, so we're going to do all the big one first. There you go, because they are easy. Alright, so okay, so this is a better angle. So this blue, black and yellow is a little bit hard to remove, but what you have to do is release here, you really have to press it firmly down and then pull it. You can use it with the two hands, so I'm gonna press that firmly, and there you go, it's out. There, the same thing with this black and yellow. Push that, and there you go, yellow, there you go. Alright, so that's how it looks like. The next step, we have to replace this bracket with the one that comes with the Idoing. So that's why I have my own Phillips screwdriver, because the one that Idoing sent us is very small. I don't think that it's going to work. Maybe it will, but it's really hard. Just to make sure that to position the audio module, the connectors are at the bottom. So this means that the right bracket is gonna go here, right? So if you kind of like keep moving this around as you misorient it, just remember that all the connectors is at the bottom. So we're gonna do the right side first. All right, so that is out. So we're gonna install the right one. You just have to use the same holes where the screws goes. Alright, so let me replace the other side and then we can install it back. Okay, so both brackets are installed and that's how it looks like. Again, the bottom of the audio module is where the connector is. The reason why I'm doing this, apply this bracket so that we can install this audio module vertically, upright like that, so that we have like easy access to all the connectors when connecting the harness that has like the canvas modules. So before you mount the audio module back, make sure to plug in this 3 cable first. In this part of the install, I made a mistake by reconnecting the black connector to the audio module, which is the AM/FM antenna. That led me to incorrectly plug the factory GPS antenna into the FM antenna input of the Android head unit. If you make the same mistake, you won't get any AM station and FM station will be off. So do not reconnect the black connector to the audio module. It should be connected to the AM/FM antenna port of the Idoing head unit using the supplied adapter cable. This mistake happened because I was overconfident. I've installed stereos before, so I assume I knew how it should go. But if I had checked the installation instruction, I would have got it. It's clearly shown there, so this one is on me. Lesson learned, always double check the instruction even if you think you know what you're doing. By the way, big thanks to Idoing technical support for helping me identify and fix the issue quickly. That was outstanding. So now let's go ahead and finish the installation. Let's do that right now. Then you hear the click, and the yellow goes to yellow, of course. You guys can see what I'm doing there. There you go. So let's install it back. It's gonna be vertical like that. Right, so the 2 connectors are here, so we can position our audio module properly. And the reason why that you have to plug these 3 cable first, the yellow, black, and blue, because they're not long enough. Probably the black and the yellow one is easy to plug them back after you mount the audio module, but for the blue one probably it's not gonna be easy because lots of things is like blocking here. So it's better to plug them in first. Right, so it's time to secure the audio module using the factory screw, the gray one. What you have to do, you can grab to this mounting bolt here to position the module. Don't grab it on the wire, right? One on the left side. And then tie it in. There you go. Now it's secure. And just double check, make sure you didn't pinch any wires. So okay, that should be good. Though as you can see that the one with the black wires is narrower than the other one, so we're gonna do this one first. That's going into the right socket. There you go, and then push it down until you hear the click. And then the next one. And then same thing, push it until you hear the click. One and the other end is going to connect to the original harness of the truck. Click. One more. Click, and that is secure. Okay. We're just gonna tuck it in right there, and then maybe this one as well. Right, so for now they're just gonna sit right there. And next I'm going to connect the converter antenna cable, because they are different connector, as you can see right there. All you have to do is to plug this one in here, and you hear the click as well. And also the USB, I'd like to use the original USB, of course. So you guys can see right there, it's gonna just go one way, right? So like that. Next thing we have to connect is the big connector right here, which has the backup camera input. So again, make sure that this gray locking tab is all the way down, and then just visually check the pins. They are okay, no bent, right? So that should go this way, right? So don't push it down, you have to pull this one to the left, and then it will lock by itself. Right, so we're gonna plug this harness to the head unit. Yeah, that's the correct. It's hard to do it with one hand. As you can see that the locking tab is straight, it means that it's properly in place. All right, so I guess this is the perfect angle of the camera. So we did plug in the harness cable. Next, don't forget to connect the fan right there. All right. And next we're going to connect the backup camera. Again, this kind of like plug, I like to secure that with electrical tape later on. And next is the left and right input, which is the red and white. You can see there's like 2 whites and 2 red, so you have to read the label. That's auxiliary in. That's not what we need. Is the audio out left, that's the one we need. And the other white one is auxiliary in, so we don't need that as well. The red one is audio out, so red to red, and then white to white. Then what else? Right, so what's remaining is the power and the canvas. Let's see if the canvas can reach now. So the canvas goes here. There you go, I hear the click. And just to double check, okay, that's it. I'm gonna plug in the power cable last. So let's do this one first, the big one. All right, so it should be like that. You guys can see, let's lift this up more so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So plug this in until you hear the click. There you go. And then the next one, the small connector has a very hard wire protector, so like it's very hard to bend it. So like you have to bend it first before you can plug this one in, like that, and then done. The last one, of course, is the power cable. Click, and then that's it. So before I forget, I want to plug this USB back in. Again, it only goes to their specific socket, so you're not gonna make a mistake. There you go, and then that should reach right there. All right, so I'm going to secure all the RCA connector first. So what you have to do, you just have to stretch it so that it will create a, you know, pressure. There you go. I think that should be, is secure, right? So gonna do the same to the left and right. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's we got the antenna, and then let's plug this back in. So I guess it's ready to test. Get the backup camera, the left and right audio, USB, the antenna, and then the CAN bus module cable. Right, so the rest of the cable I'm going to plug them in later, like after we tested it. This cable here, I believe this one if you have the front camera. Right, so I guess let's fire it up and let's see what's going to happen. I'm just gonna put the shifter back to the park. Right. Right, so I got the key fob in my pocket and the shifter back to park, and let's fire it up. There you are. Now we have the screen.
Start recording.
That's my CV dashcam is talking. So there you go. The volume is working, but we don't have a sound. The volume here is working. Now if the steering wheel control volume is working. All right, so that's really a good sign. But again, we still don't have a sound. I'm just going to lower the fan because that's kind of noisy. Radio right there. Oh, there you go. Now we have a sound. I think we have to scan the radio first here, or I think this one is faster. It's gonna to go to 93.5. Oops. Oh, we're just gonna miss that 93.5 or 95.3, doesn't matter. There you go, 95.3.
Associates. Visit wecanhelp.ca to find an office near you.
25 years!
Celebrate.
See, that one, it works as well. Okay, so right now we're just testing it, and I can tell right away that the sound is totally different. It's like improves a lot. So let's shift the shifter to the reverse. Oh, there you go. The backup camera is working and there is no multiple grid lines. Again, I didn't set anything. So let's see, let's turn the wheel. There you go, that's exactly how the original backup camera works. The main grid line stays and it has the shadow, the white line, and then the center line, it is turning when you turn the wheel. I like this because that's actually what I'm worried about, you know, that it will change the grid lines because I'm already used to it. This is amazing because it's exactly same as the factory. Now I'm getting more excited about this Idoing stereo. Idoing, good job. Right, so let's put it, and there you go. Very nice. These extra inputs here, of course, this one is for the mic that comes with it. These three here, the green, the subwoofer, left and right auxiliary in. If you have like aftermarket stereo and subwoofer, that's the one you have to use. Video out if you have like extra screen, and the other video in. I believe that this is gonna be for the 360 cameras if you have one. Look at the USB cable, still came off. It's just too short. Oh, actually it's not that short. You know, the thing is like they tied it here. So I'm gonna cut, like they zip tie it here on the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut that because that's not really necessary to be in there. All right, so I use this pry tool with the claw to release this from where it mounts. It's very useful. And look at that, how long is the USB cable. And now we have a lot of slack. Again, I still have to secure it because this connector doesn't have lock, so it's just very easy to pop out. I'm gonna use the same electrical tape. All right, so that should be secure now. So next thing we have to connect is the GPS and the 4G antenna. Again, the microphone, I'm not going to use it. My truck already have a built-in microphone. Right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna drop everything inside the glove box for now, and then I'm going to route the cable later. I'm thinking to put this GPS antenna in the corner here. I already tried the length of the wire is like more than enough to reach here. So the GPS antenna is the L connector, and then the straight one is the 4G. All right, so we're gonna connect the 4G first, which is the one on the bottom. Remove that, drop it there. That's tight enough. And the GPS. All right, that is tight enough, right? So this is just a hand tight. Don't use anything to tight it because it's soldered on the board. You don't want to damage that. So now everything is connected. Make sure that all the wires are tucked in properly. Like put all the wires on the top because there's lots of room here on the top portion, especially the canvas module. So there's lots of room. And this is the last thing I'm going to connect, and this is long enough so I can just put that here for now. Just gonna try to sit it like that. And now it's time to install the orange retainer clips so that we can install it permanently. Right, just so easy. You just have to push it in. There it clicks. You guys want to see that right there, just like that. And lastly, we have to install the top buttons. The first one is the gray one, which is the very short one. This way is very easy to connect the wire first, like that, and then pop it in. There you go. And the next one, which is the hazard light. So there you go. Oops, that's on. I'm gonna turn it off. You guys can see it's blinking there. Turn it off. And the last one is the green one. There you go. And that's it. So let's snap it right back in. All the wires are intact, like that. Hear the click, and there you go. Now the last, the thing that I forgot to do is just to make sure that I'm not gonna lose all the bolts. Just wanna put them back where it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to yank it out again. Right, so that's all right. That's not hard anyway. There you go. I wish I don't have to do that, but I forget. Okay, have to use the help of the Okay, there you go. I wish that I don't have to do this, but I forgot. All right, so everything is okay. Right, everything's okay. So what I'm saying is I'm just gonna put all the screw back where they were, right here, so that I won't lose them. I wish I didn't forget, but I did. Yeah, this way, if in case like I need to reinstall back the factory one, I don't have to, you know, look for the screws, is because it's already there. So it's good to have like to keep everything like in place. Then snap it in place like that, and that is secure. Right, so now don't forget to put the 2 black screws that holding the top. Just put this down here just in case I don't want to drop it. On the other side as well, and use the same 17 mm to tighten it. All right, don't make it too tight, and then snap this back. There you go. Now it's done. I just move this one here, and the last thing, again, this one we don't need this cable. Gonna go in the glove box as well. All right, so we're done installing the stereo, so Larry can go back to its place. Go, Larry is happy now. And the last thing that I need to do is to route the 4G and GPS antenna, but that's not gonna be a problem because they are all in the glove box now. So now I'm going to put the shifter back to the park, and then I can put the cover back on. And the tray, and let's fire it up again. I just noticed actually that it has a pre-installed screen protector, which is really nice. So there you go, that is so shiny. There you go, it's quick. The sound is amazing. I'm going to mute the sound because, you know, like I don't want to get a copyright. So
Time-lapse video.
alright guys, so it's been over a week now since I installed this Idoing head unit, and look at that massive 12.1 inch screen, and I've got to say that I'm loving it every day. I don't know if you guys noticed my reaction during the installation the first time I turned it on. Man, I was impressed of the sound quality right away. It's very noticeable. I'm sorry I have to cut that part because I don't want to get copyright issue with YouTube, and you know, this video won't get monetized. Now let me show you guys that everything works. So let's start with the steering wheel control. So the radio part is on the right, the left side is for the cluster, so we're not gonna touch this one here. So let's start with the volume up. There you go, this is the volume up. And volume down, also the arrow. There you go, you guys can see it's selecting the song and it will play actually. I just have to be careful not to play, you know, like the song with the copyright. So right, I'm just gonna stop that, gonna pause that. Also the touchscreen is very responsive, you guys can see right there.
Thrown out over it for song, and
that's AM, FM, FM2, AM again.
now he spells
I'm just gonna
out
press the mute here, and we go to the radio. That's AM. We're just gonna go to News 1130. I think it was mute. So the mute works. I can also unmute it here on the steering wheel control.
Miss Princess Auto's Mega Smasher 21st.
There you go. So, and the mode, as you guys can see, it's changing the mode there as well.
Tools.
Oh, that's my all my pictures. Okay, just gonna go back there. And then let's mute that first. And here, the bottom controls. Let's start with the AC. Right there, you can see it's on. Let's just turn that off. And this one also working. Turn that off. And the max AC. Go. So let's turn that off as well. And this is the front defogger, defroster, whatever you call it. That's the max, so it will turn on the rear defogger as well. So let's turn that off, and we can turn it on individually. Off, and the fan down, maximum. Let's turn that off again. And the temperature for the driver's side, also passenger side. Right now it's not set to dual, so you can control it individually. And what else here? And let's turn the AM on.
Is he working safely and following the rules? Yes, with big rigs, the stakes are too high to be unsafe, and police have zero tolerance for impaired drivers. 11:30 news time. It is now 5:50.
And let's turn it to the FM quick. I don't want to get copyright again. There you go. Alright, so the AS, that is auto search. So let's execute that right now, just to do it in the AM. You guys can see that it's searching AM station. Again, I don't want to do it on the FM. I don't want to get copyrighted, so you guys can do that your own. Right, so my favorite station is the 1130.
There will likely be interest rate cuts in Canada and the US 1 week from today.
And back to the bottom, let's just mute the sound and the media button. Alright, so we're just gonna go back to home, and you guys see that the mute is already working. So this is nice because you have three ways of controlling the volume. You can control it here on the touchscreen on the bottom right corner, and you can also control here on the left knob. Also, you can control it on the steering wheel. So this is perfect location because the passenger can actually control the volume up and down without asking you to do so, or without trying to reach this knob here. So that is nice. And here is the AC control for the touchscreen. And as you guys can see that the dual is not on. Let's turn that on and try to change the temperature. So you guys can see that both driver and passenger side is now changing at the same time. Alright, so I'm just gonna put it low. So now let me play some song on my cell phone. I've already connected it via Bluetooth, so it means that the Bluetooth is working. So let's go. Oh, since that we already here, let's try to dial a number just to show you guys that the button here for the cell phone is working. The voice command, I haven't set it up yet. If I press that and hold, there you can see that it's asking me to install the app, which I haven't done that yet. So, but the button is working, and I already show you guys that the mute is working here as well. So let's go back there. Let's just dial some number. Let me just see if I can find any number on my cell phone that is not private. So let's just dial the 1-800 number. 1-800 459. This is a Canadian Tire MasterCard. 604 64, I mean 15, and I'm gonna press the call button here, and there you guys can see Canadian Tire MasterCard. Oh, it's taking so long to connect. Oh, you know what? Because I muted it. Oh,
Sorry,
no.
I did not
There you
receive
go.
your response.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I muted it. So now I'm gonna hang
If you
up.
don't have your card number, press 1.
There you go. So all the buttons on the steering wheel are working. I think this one I can play it actually. Let's try. Oh, this is muted again. Just listen to that quality of the sound. Okay, let's change the song. I got some song that I save on my cell phone that is copyright free. Alright, so let me show you guys the equalizer. And right now it's in normal. You guys have selection on the top, the preset one, classical, and if you want to adjust it individually, you can go to user, and then you can change that one by one if you want. And then if you're not happy with it, you can just click default and it will go back to where it was. And yeah, so surround sound, you guys can see. Just volume it a little bit, and I'm just gonna go back to the center, and then the bass boost and the zoning. This is my favorite. You can play with that if you want. I'm just gonna go back to the center, right? Just go back to default, and then the bass filter. And there is another setting, especially if you have the B&O sound system and subwoofer. So let's go back to home, and then from the bottom you just have to scroll up slowly to pull up that another set of application, and there's another from the right. The photos, I added that. I downloaded it via Play Store. So the control that I'm talking about is this one here. Starts that. Let's put the volume a little bit. Then we can adjust the bass. You guys can hear the difference. And let's go the treble. That's the maximum. And I like this mid-range to be lower a bit. You can hear, you know, like the high frequency is standing out. And then the balance. Alright, let's just put it back to 0. Oops. And the fader. Just put it to -1. And you can also change it to stereo, but I like it surround. And the speed link, you can set it to low, mid, or high. This is the one that compensates the volume when you're driving fast on the highway. The noise, you know, gets louder. The stereo will compensate the volume automatically. If you slow down, the noise is gonna go down as well, and then it will the volume will go down as well if you turn that on. So you have to select there if you want low, medium, or high. I personally don't really need it, so I don't really drive on the highway that much, so I'm just gonna leave that to off. And then what else I can show you guys? The AC you can also control here, but I like using the buttons here. It's more faster. And also the fan right there, you can just press it down to you want to get out. And you guys can see all the display on the top, the temperature and the battery. I activated that on, and I'm already connected to the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. And that battery indicator on the right is that's my cell phone, so that's nice that it's also showing there. Then I'm going to shift it to reverse, and there you go. You can see the backup camera. What I love about it is it's retained exactly, you know, the grid lines of the factory, and you guys can see the line in the middle there. But when I turn the steering wheel, it's exactly the same as the factory. The black line in the middle, it's also turning, and also the white line, the shadow. But the main grid lines, it just stay like it doesn't move. I was worried actually that it will change the grid lines, because I'm already get used to this kind of type of grid line, so I don't want that, you know, that look like a square. When I open the door, you can see the 3D animation vehicle. It shows on the screen, and it will show which door is open. Let me open all the doors. Close it. You guys can see that I like the 3D animation of the car when you open the door, and when I close it, oops, that's too loud. There you go. The only thing is you cannot change the car. It would be nice if you can change it so that I can select a truck instead of like a sedan or a sports car like that. I already contacted Idoing and they said I cannot change it. So I guess in the future, maybe if they have a software upgrade, you know, like they can add more vehicle there to choose. You know, especially I have a truck. I want to see a truck on my screen, not, you know, like a sports car like that. But anyway, and the last thing that I can show you guys actually is the sensor. Let me put a tire block on my wheel so that I can, you know, leave it in the reverse and then show you guys that it's showing the sensor here. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that you guys saw it. I can hear that the sensor is beeping. Alright guys, so that's it for now, and if you have any question regarding the installation, leave it in the comment section below. And again, the installation is very straightforward and easy as long as you follow and read the instruction. Don't be like me, you know, don't make the same mistake that I make regarding the FM antenna. And if you guys interested with this Idoing 12.1 Android head unit, I'm going to leave the link in the description below. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.